Well, it's been a while, right? Hasn't been really any exciting things happening in Pokemon Go, let's be honest. The Adventure Week was a really bad event. We've had some subpar events, but we have the new season coming out with Dynamax Pokemon. And this is a subject that I've been waiting to talk about. Now that we know it's coming, it's not gonna be that great. You're probably thinking to yourself, what are you talking about? We're going to get into it today, talk about why Dynamax is not going to do anything for the game whatsoever, and we can talk about the new Pokemon a little bit as well. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's been a minute, hasn't it? So let's talk about Dynamax Pokemon and why it's not going to change the game whatsoever and do nothing for really anyone. At first, it's a cool new feature when it came to the main series games, but the main series games play completely different than Pokemon Go. I think we can all agree on that. And the thing is when it comes to Pokemon Go, Dynamax Pokemon is just a glorified Mega Evolution. Now, you're probably thinking, you're kind of right. You're going to have to farm these Gigantamax raids for Gigantamax energy to be able to Dynamax them, right? And, a lot of them are going to be useless, like there are a lot of useless Mega Pokemon. So, why go out of your way to do these if their Gigantamax forms aren't going to be any stronger than Mega forms? And we're going to go over that. But this is what you can expect. Gigantamax, or Dynamax, whatever you want to call it, right? Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Squirtle, and Wooloo. And then we have, let's see. Yep, debuts. There are raids. Makes sense. And field research tasks. And we've got some new Pokemon too. So here are the future Pokemon. The starters are finally coming. Regular, Candy Costs, Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon, and Dragapult. Niantic always releases a very rare Pokemon, and Dragapult is the one. It is the pseudo-legendary. This is what you can expect. Shiny Wooloo and Shiny Squirtle. Okay, cool, I guess. Probably ain't gonna get either. But let's dive into the differences between Gigantamax Pokemon and Mega Pokemon. We're going to look at the top attackers for certain types because there's only so many Gigantamax Pokemon. And let's actually look at that first and then go over to the typings and the top attackers and see where the Megas rank, and we can compare that to the Gigantamax and see if will they have a higher attack than the Megas we currently have now. So here are the Gigantamax forms, the special forms, the forms that matter. You have Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Butterfree. Butterfree is going to be absolutely worthless. Pikachu is going to be absolutely worthless. Meowth. Machamp might end up being the best fighting attacker. We'll have to see. Gengar, there's something interesting about that one. We'll talk about that. Kingler will probably actually be pretty solid. We'll have to see. Lapras, no. Eevee does nothing. Snorlax, normal Pokemon don't do anything. Garbodor, probably not. Melmetal doesn't have a metal fast move, so that doesn't matter. Rillaboom, okay, maybe. Cinderace, okay, maybe. Inteleon, okay, maybe. Corviknight, probably nothing. Orbeetle, no. Dreadnought, no. Colossal, maybe, as a rock type. Flapple and Appleton, probably not. Maybe as a grass type, but I doubt it. Sandaconda, its stats were too low to begin with. Toxtricity the same. Centiskorch the same. Hatterene the same. Grimmsnarl is pretty strong. We're going to have to see what kind of moves it's going to get. It could be a good dark or fairy attacker as a Gigantamax. Alcremie, probably not. Copperajah, if it gets, or Copperajah, sorry. If it gets steel type moves, it could be decent, but then you got Duraludon, which is a good Pokemon. It could go the steel route. Hopefully it goes the steel route, because guys, let's be honest, nothing is probably beating Mega Rayquaza. Seriously, that thing is a monster. Nothing is beating Mega Rayquaza, and we'll go back to that in a minute. Urshifu, both forms. See, this is probably gonna be one of the best fighting attackers in the entire game. So let's go over some typings and kind of compare and see why these forms in just doing these in general doesn't make any sense when we already have Megas, and all this is just a glorified Mega form. So one of the most important typings is Ghost, right? And we just got Dawn Wings Necrozma. and Dawn Wings Necrozma is better than Mega Gengar. Now, if Mega Gengar isn't better than Dawn Wings Necrozma, then that probably means that Gigantamax Gengar probably won't be better than Dawn Wings Necrozma. Say that 8 times fast. Holy crap. And I think that's a safe bet. I do. I really do, because we don't know. But we have what's given here, and I just think that it's probably going to be less powerful than Dawn Wings Necrozma. Now, here's another thing to mention too, and I thought about this, because we have to step back for a second. You're telling me every single person in a raid, which, with the way the raids are structured right now, can Gigantamax a Pokemon during a raid? Do you realize how big these Pokemon get? So there's just going to be balloons around a raid boss? I don't know. See, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. That's kind of weird. I wonder how they're going to do it. But Moongeist Beam is an absolute piece of a move. Holy cow. So there's already Gigantamax powered moves in the game, Moongeist Beam being one of them. So I think it's safe to say that Gigantamax Gengar probably isn't going to be taking the top spot. So that leads me to believe that they just aren't really going to be that worth it. Why would you go do Gigantamax Gengar raids, waste all this time and energy, have to power it up when you already have something in your party that's way better? So let's go on to the next type. You probably already could have guessed this one, and chances are Duskmane Necrozma could get dethroned as a steel type once Mega Metagross comes. It's very possible that it could dethrone Duskmane Necrozma, but until that happens, we'll have to wait and see. But again, there's not going to be anyone. Maybe Duraludon? Maybe? I highly doubt it. Duskmane Necrozma is a monster, so nothing changes here. Another pretty good example, Mega Venusaur isn't even in the top 2. Mega Sceptile beats it by a lot, and just a regular Kartana. Imagine a Shadow Kartana. I don't like Shadows. I think Shadows are dumb. That's just my opinion. They cost way too much to power up, and Stardust is, to this day, the most valuable and hardest resource to get in the game, and it's ridiculous how much you have to grind to get it. It's just not feasible anymore, so that's why I don't like Shadows. Anyway, but we're looking at regular Kartana. Like, for Gigantamax Venusaur to make sense, it has to be better than Kartana, but if you have a maxed out Mega Sceptile, it doesn't make sense to farm it. I hope you're seeing a trend here. I don't think this is going to change. Mega Manectric isn't even better than Xurkitree. Xurkitree is probably going to stay on top, because the only Gigantamax form Pokemon there was, what was it? It was Toxtricity, right? Now, I know that you can Gigantamax pretty much any Pokemon you want, so chances are that some of these Pokemon might make it to the top because you can Gigantamax them, but I don't know. I really don't. We're going to have to see how that mechanic works for Pokemon that don't have exclusive forms, but just having to farm more and more and more just doesn't make sense to me. You can just use something else. Without a doubt, 100% certainty, Mega Mewtwo will be the best psychic attacker. Case closed. On to the next one. Now, Mega Tyranitar is the best dark type attacker, and I don't think that's going to change even with Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, or in this case, Gigantamax Tyranitar or Hydreigon. I just don't think they can beat or meet up to Mega Tyranitar. So I think Mega Tyranitar is still going to reign supreme. That might change, but I highly doubt it. I already spoke about this one. Mega Rayquaza is going to remain undefeated. Maybe. And I hope it's not true, only because I absolutely love Mega Rayquaza. But maybe Gigantamax Eternatus could dethrone it. I'm highly doubting it, but it's possible. Unless some other Pokemon get new moves, Mega Gardevoir is probably going to remain supreme. The Fairy Gigantamax forms, they're weak Pokemon to begin with, so Gigantamaxing them doesn't really do anything. So Mega Gardevoir, this will probably remain unchanged. Okay, this is where things get interesting. We just got Mega Lucario, Force Palm and Aerosphere. Pretty exclusive move there for the fast attack. Machamp might be able to, but going back to my logic that I've been using, look how far down Machamp is to begin with. Talk about a huge buff to get it from 18 to 1. I just don't see it. I really don't. There's our boy Mega Rayquaza. absolutely, I'm pretty sure that's the highest DPS in the entire game. Seriously, the highest DPS in the entire game. Insane. So here's a little bit different. I doubt Trubbish, or Garbodor, excuse me, with this exclusive Gigantamax form will be any better than Mega Beedrill. Now we're talking about Mega Beedrill because it's the only one here out of the top 3, right? Because it is better than Nihilego. Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb as a pure poison moveset is the best. I don't count Mega Gengar as Shadow Gengar because it doesn't have a poison fast attack. But Nihilego with a Gigantamax form will probably be stronger than Mega Beedrill. So I hope, I'm not even going to go over the rest of them, to be honest with you, because I hope you're starting to see a little bit of a trend here, and something that, you know, I just don't think is a good precedent, really, is the fact that most Mega Pokemon now, and most Pokemon out right now, are already going to be the best that we can get in the entire game. And there are some Pokemon, for this instance, that don't have any forms, but if you make them bigger, Dynamax them, Nihilego, in this case, will get a buff. Now, is it going to be better than Mega Beedrill? We don't know what the buff stats are, but chances are it will probably make Nihilego better than Mega Beedrill. Maybe. Maybe. Because I'm sure it's a flat buff. It might just be 10%. It might be a flat 10%. I'm sure Niantic, other than the exclusive Gigantamax forms for exclusive Pokemon, I bet every single one of them have a flat rate. We don't know what the flat rate is. We don't know. But it's safe to say, in terms of this right here, Nihilego will probably be better than Mega Beedrill, because you can't Dynamax a Mega Beedrill. It already has a form. Can you Dynamax Shadow Pokemon? I don't know. That's just really expensive as far as Stardust and everything else goes. So I'm in the camp where Dynamax isn't changing the game. Although it's a new mechanic, it's something that's not new as a premise in Pokemon Go. We already have Megas. This is just a glorified Mega form. There are raids. Maybe the raids change. That would make things a little bit more interesting. But look at how they did Shadows. They gave you crystals, and you had to throw crystals at it, and they were impossible to farm. So it was impossible to do a bunch of Shadows in a row. So that whole system is terrible. So nothing is really changing. I forgot to go over the new Pokemon. We can do that real quick. So looking at the new Pokemon, the only one that could probably dethrone some water types, well, even in this case, Inteleon has a really high attack stat, right? 262. But do you think its exclusive Dynamax form or Gigantamax form is going to be better than Primal Kyogre? Do you really believe that? Primal Groudon will be the best ground type until the end of time. Primal Kyogre will be the best water type until the end of time. But Inteleon's attack stat is pretty massive as it is. But the reason why I don't believe it'll be higher than Kyogre, Primal that is, when it Gigantamaxes, is Kyogre has an attack stat of 270 base. This is 8 off base. So these are going to be pretty cool Pokemon and pretty good Pokemon to use overall. But are they going to be the most viable in their respective forms? Probably not. They'll probably have more use in PvP, whether that be the Ultra League. No Master League play. I can't really see any Master League play, but probably in the Ultra League, potentially in the Great League. But yeah, their Gigantamax forms aren't going to do anything, aren't going to change anything. Kind of what I've been kicking a dead horse over. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you excited for Dynamax, Gigantamax? You already know what I feel. Just let me know why, if you are excited, in the comments. Let me know what you think it's going to change in the game, because nothing's going to change, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what they could do to actually change the physical gameplay and make the game feel newish and fresh. It's just going to be recycled in one way or another. It's just like putting a new skin over a wall. It's just like putting new paint over a wall. It's still a wall, there's still paint on it. It looks the same, it's just a different color, right? So, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. Hopefully something exciting. Other than that, if Pokemon Go remains to be stale, I might not see you for a little while. So that's it to me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.